Peace and blessings, everyone. Happy holidays to everyone. Also, thank you first and foremost. So, all of you guys have been supporting the channel, the likes, the comments, the shares, the phone calls, the questions. Definitely appreciate it. And just want to take a moment to do a video on why you need more than a dispatch course to become not a good, not a common, but a great dispatcher.
Right. And honestly, I just want to first off saying that we're not trying to knock anyone that does give courses on that. Honestly, that's a great idea. That's something that we would actually be looking to do along the line. Once obviously, the dispatch business grows more. So we're not trying to knock anybody that's trying to do that. We're not trying to knock anyone else that is trying to start their dispatch business. We have a dispatch business along with our authority. We're just trying to give back some information that we have been given from the carriers that we run, the things that we've heard of them working with prior dispatchers and then coming to us for services. Him working with multiple dispatchers before, of course, me, dispatching him myself. So we just want to give you all of that knowledge, so that way, if you are looking for a dispatch service and they are charging at the top 10%, then you should know what they should be giving you in return for that 10% charge. And if you're trying to start your dispatch business as well, what should be your next steps if you are just taking a course? What should you be looking to do so that you can be that great dispatcher and be able to grow your business and then in return actually give, good results, to your carriers.
So we'll start with just stating the problem and follow that up with some solutions. So the problem is you just took a course or a class and you are now a dispatcher, or you want to be a dispatcher, or you're dispatching trucks and you started your dispatch business. So the problem with that is, let's say you're dispatching me, a seasoned driver, have my own truck. Well, I'm going to pretty much be able to tell that you don't really know the ins and outs of this business, and that's going to probably happen on the first or second phone call that we have, about doing business together. So even if I do let you dispatch me, well, when you call a broker, they're going to be able to tell that you pretty much, are not sharp, and they're not going to tell you that, but they're probably going to take advantage of you when it comes to negotiating and the rates. So that's pretty much the problem when you have just had a course and you're dispatching even a new driver. It really does a disservice to that driver and really the whole industry as a whole, because there's a lot of people who are coming on board, reaching out to us, and they've only had a course or a class. And so part of that is where we do our consultations, because they need to fill in the gaps, And on the other end is you have a lot of drivers who've had dispatches who have only had a course, and their trucks are sitting for
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 days, weeks at a time, and they're reaching out to us. So we know there's a ton of dispatchers coming on who've only had that experience, and that's great, but just know that that's part of your
Right.
journey. That's not the whole journey. It shouldn't be the whole journey. And if anyone is telling you that, they're setting you up for failure.
Yeah, and I'll just kind of elaborate a little bit more about what he was saying on that. We are looking to hire more dispatchers, and the problems that we have had in the last, I would say, month or so is it's dispatchers saying they're dispatchers, and then when we get them up and rolling, there's a lot of stuff that they still don't even know. And I am very busy. I'm very busy with my trucks and trying to manage the business, trying to manage Marlon's truck as well. Like I said, we're carriers ourselves, so it's not just a dispatch business that we have. So there's a lot to manage, and we were looking for experienced dispatchers, and we were getting tons of people that were coming to us, and they only had dispatch courses done, but they were saying they were a dispatcher and they had dispatch experience, and then once they started, it was me really honestly giving me more work, because I was literally having to train, because there was a lot of stuff that they just still really didn't know. And I kind of would have respected more honestly if they would have just came to me and told me, I just took a course, because I do want to do work with people like that, but I have to make sure I carve out the time to do that. So I say all that by saying this is that, I learned in that process in the past month that a course isn't enough. A course isn't enough for somebody to really be dispatching somebody, because there's still so many things that they're trying to fill in, they're trying to connect. Basically, the course is like, just all the information. And then once they're hands on, they're really trying to connect the dots, with everything on that, and that can be very time consuming, because the freight industry is just not something that you learn honestly in a week or in 7 days. It's really not.
So absolutely. So I'll share some transparency with our journey. You guys know I'm a driver. I'm still a driver, and Jessica did work for a dispatch company before becoming a freight broker.
Yeah.
So that's our journey. It doesn't have to be your journey, but I say that to say we have a lot of knowledge in this business when it comes to dispatching. So, and so in terms of a solution, basically you want hands-on experience
Yeah.
in whatever field you're going into. So not just dispatching. If you want to be a surgeon, well, you're gonna have to do a residency. You're gonna have to do some operating in that operating room before a lot of people think you're credible to do
Right.
surgery on them. That's just basic business 101. So you want some hands-on experience when it comes to being a dispatcher, and that you can start off like Jess did by working for another dispatch company.
Yeah, I did. Gosh, and you're talking about, like, we just started our dispatch business, this year, and you're thinking, I mean, that was maybe what, 3 or 4 years ago,
Yeah.
that I was started working with another lady that had a dispatch business, and honestly, I was just started working for her, and it was hands on. I didn't at that time, courses wasn't even a thing back then. Honestly, it really wasn't. And so it was really just me being thrown into it and just learning and seeing what she was doing. But I say that to say that that wasn't even enough. I still felt like I needed more information. I still felt like I'm just not, quite sure. And I was getting hands-on experience, moving power only loads, trying to find out loadout trailers. It was crazy. And so even after that, I still came on to a large company as a broker. But with that company, how that system works is that you are actually a dispatcher for your first 2 to 3 months. So you're getting tons of dispatch experience because you're working for a huge company, and that's all you're doing all day long, 5 days a week, is dispatching trucks and things like that. So that was great experience, and that definitely helped me fill in the blanks hands-on. But even after I left, and I became a broker after that, and even after I left that company as having dispatch experience, having broker experience for a couple of years, I still took a course after that. So we're just trying to explain to you how, even having the hands-on experience and stuff like that, we still invested in ourselves, and we actually both took a course on dispatching services after he's been a carrier for a couple of years, and after me having the broker experience, we still did it just to still fill in a couple blanks or just to see how the dispatch business was working. So you're talking about years of knowledge. You're talking about information, not just from one source. That's another thing that I want to point out is don't get all your information just from one source. Go branch out, go talk to people, connect with people on social media, connect with different groups. I say take multiple courses, because honestly, it's very different, the information you're going to get from one person versus to another person.
And even maybe connect with an owner and operator or a driver, just so you can learn that side of the business.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
After you've done a course, because it's just like night and day if you don't have a network. So one thing, get hands-on experience. Another thing is try to get a network. Try to connect with people who are brokers, who are dispatchers, who are owner-operators or drivers, or have
ask
a
questions
trucking company.
to them.
And ask them questions, help, just pretty much learn the whole industry from shipper to receiver, know how that whole process works, from shipper to broker to driver to receiver, You know, and if you want to go deeper, you can find out, you know, how it gets to the ports and that process. But that's a whole other process. But if you can just know the process from shipper to receiver with all the middle people involved, that will fill in a lot of gaps.
Right.
But you're still going to need some hands-on experience.
Right. So I guess, you know, what we're trying to say is when you're looking to start your dispatch business, or you're going to take a course, take your course. You know, take the course, get the information you need, connect with people, like you said, reach out, connect with different people. What I would do, and I've had a couple ladies that have reached out to me, I mean, honestly, all the time on Facebook about dispatching business, and I always tell them, go find somebody to work under. I would not, my personal advice, and y'all, this is just coming from our personal experience, I would not just go out and just start a dispatch business. And the reason why I say that is, like, our values are, as far as when we say that we have a business, you know, that's our name behind it. And I feel like our name is everything, which is why we go so hard for our carriers. So I would not just go out and try to start a business with my name attached to it, and I'm still trying to figure out, you know, what I'm doing and things like that. So I would go, my personal what am I trying to say? I kind of got lost in my thoughts. My personal experience, or my recommendation would be, go work under somebody. I've had ladies come to me, they've had trucks, they're not comfortable dispatching their husbands, and they have worked underneath me for a couple months, learning the business, learning the industry, as I'm helping them dispatch their husband. And I know a lot of people be like, wow, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Because she's just going to go off and, you know, duplicate or copy. That's fine. There's tons of money in this industry for everyone. But I felt good knowing that I was able to help another family out, for one. That was her husband. She was trying to do the same thing we were trying to do. And then the fact that she was willing to work under somebody for a little while, you know, obviously they're paying a percentage to me, and you know, learn the business for what the business really is, so that way, you know, she is doing a good job trying to dispatch her husband. So I would highly recommend that. Go work for somebody for a little while, gain that experience with them. You know, it might be even a situation to where you might be able to have a partnership, you know, with that dispatch company, especially like us. That's something that we're doing right now with one of our dispatchers. And because as the company is growing, you're going to need more people. You're going to need more experienced people and people that are loyal to your company. So that's just something to kind of, you know, think about. To go work for somebody for a little while, get that experience, reach out to carriers. Because honestly, I still reach out to him when I have questions about timing on loads. When I'm questioning drivers and their ability to get to certain loads, I still reach out to my husband to ask him, hey, look, this load picked up at this time. This is about a 200 something miles. What would your ETA be? You know, just to double check myself and things. So that's why if you don't have that as somebody like in your house that you're able to do that, be able to have that carrier that you have that you can ask those questions to, and, you know, double check yourself. It's really double checking your work. That's really what you're doing at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And I also cross-reference things with her. So when brokers or shippers, you know, someone reaches out to me with a rate, well, I'm going to run it past her to see what she thinks. But if you don't have that, you're probably going to take the load yourself, or you're going to, you know, take it and reject it, or you're not going to think it's a good load and just not take it. So that could set you up, you know, for a situation, you know, good or bad, you know. But in this business, there's not a lot of room to make mistakes. So,
it's going to cost you.
So whether you're rejecting loads or your trucks are sitting, or you know,
costing you.
Yeah, you're gonna run your authority in the ground very fast, and you just, there's not a lot of room to do that.
And that brings another point up, you know, and we talked about this actually in one of our other videos about making sure your dispatcher is doing good business on your behalf. That's another thing. I have seen some different courses, and a lot of them don't talk about, you know, falling out on loads and things like that. And that would run somebody's MC number, like authority, in the ground. Like they're going to go under. And I'm telling you this because I've had carriers come to me, and I've told him their authority is no good. I can't book anything. And guess what? I can't work with the guy. I mean, I'm not going to sit all day trying to fish through loads, because the authority is no good and is in the ground. So that is even something that when you're working under somebody that is honestly doing good business, that is something that you'll learn. That's something I teach my dispatchers is do not book a load and then fall out on it because you got a better load for, more money or something like that. You're going to mess that carrier up. If we're taking that load, we better make sure that that driver can take that load. So it's different things like that. Also, another point is I had a situation the other day. We have situations honestly every day. But, a broker was trying to tell me that he could not send me a new Raycon with more money for my drivers that just unloaded the whole truck. And it was tires.
Wow.
It was 32 tires that they had to hand offload. So he told me that his system won't allow him to send a new Raycon. I heard him out, listened to what he had to say, and then my exact words were, I was a broker for a couple years prior to me having this dispatch business. Do you want to be honest? Want to be honest with me right now and just tell me that you just don't want to give me the money? Or are you going to just sit here and lie to me and just tell me that your system won't let you? Because I have worked with your company as a broker as well, and you are very well able to send me a new Raycon right now. So do you not just want to give me the money? And I say that to say, if you didn't have that experience, you would not have known that. You would have thought, oh, well, maybe their system can't do that. Oh, their system can't send a Raycon. Long story short, the guy sent the Raycon. He sent a new Raycon for the money. I mean, you have to know these things to be able to call out on these brokers because they will take advantage of you. Not all of them. No, there are some still good brokers out there. I won't say that. But some brokers, honestly, the majority of them, they will take advantage of you, especially if they know that you don't know what you're talking about or you don't know the business. He sent it to me because he knew I knew exactly what I was talking about and that it probably was going to get a little ugly if he wouldn't have sent me that because I would have just went to Superior and got it. So that is just kind of, like I said, our perspective on why, you want to get more knowledge, than just taking a course to try to start your dispatch business. You want to do good business for these carriers. And I'm going to say this, y'all, carriers, if you're trying to start your dispatch business and you're taking a course now and you're watching this video, carriers spend a lot of money setting their authority up, y'all. It is not an easy process for them to get the authority. A lot of them are taking savings from their family. A lot of them have been saving for years or a year just to get their truck, just to get the authority going. And I say that to say, take that with a heavy heart, that when you take on that carrier, that you're going to do right by him and his family or their family, because they have to provide food on their table for their kids, for themselves, and they have spent a lot of money trying to get into this business, and you want to be able to do the best for them to make sure that that truck is making money. And I say that because that is a perspective that I take on in my business, and that's a perspective that I require my dispatchers to take on. We're not just trying to sit there and just book a load to get the carrier out of the way. No, like, we want to make sure that our trucks are expanding their business, that they're buying more trucks. It's only good for me if I keep working with the same carriers and they're expanding. I don't want to work with any new carriers. It's a lot of work bringing on a new carrier, and a lot of you dispatchers know that. So why not just do good business, and make sure that you're building a relationship with your carrier, so you'll have that relationship there, so you're there to help their business, not just book a load and run their authority in the ground. It's just not right that I feel so bad when carriers come to me and that's what's happened to them, and I can't even help them at that point. So I really hope you like this video. Please like and share it. Like I said, we're not trying to knock anyone, trying to do it. We're just trying to help educate you, and honestly just really trying to make you great at this.
Right, empower you.
Thank you, empower you. And we're speaking from a perspective of, if I told you the numbers of my dispatch business, you probably wouldn't believe me of what I make weekly, and I just started this business this year. But as you can see, it has been something that's been in the process for years.
Yes.
And we turn carriers down. I was just telling one of my other carriers on the phone today, I turn carriers down every week trying to onboard, just because it goes back to what I said. We have a good name for our business. Our name is out there. We do good business. If I can't help you, I'm going to tell you I can't help you, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to be very honest with you. So when you start your business, just have that type of integrity and character when you go into it.
Yeah, thank you. And on that note, you just reminded me, I'm coming off of my biggest week ever, and also my biggest rate per mile ever. And that's thanks to this one right here. So I posted it on
Well,
on
we're
our
a team.
Facebook group,
Yeah.
and it was really literally $10 per mile in Florida.
In Florida, y'all.
And in Florida, right. And, people didn't believe me. They thought it was, 10, 20 miles. It was 200 miles, but not bad for the day. And so that with some other loads she booked me coming out of Cali, it set me up for a record-breaking week. So
and that's what we strive to. Honestly, we hit one number and then we're on to the next number. I'm trying to figure out, okay, what, how can I make that next number happen,
Yep. So that probably wouldn't have happened if she didn't have that greatness as a dispatcher. Yes, you can do it, but it's not likely. So yes, you can get
He's
into
gonna
this.
get some cool points for this, y'all.
I'm working on something. Yes, you can get in this business without a truck, without a CDL.
Absolutely,
yes,
yeah.
you can.
And
but,
you can make great money.
Right, and you can make great money. But how much better would you be to not only yourself and your family, but the whole industry if you have more than that? That's all we're saying. You need more than that to be great.
Right. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much. I hope everyone have a happy Thanksgiving. Share it with your family because that's really what it's all about. And we will see everyone on the next video.